I'm back for another video. And my voice is a bit crackly. I've been doing a lot of talking lately. But we are finally at this premises eligible for fiber to the premises. Yes, I've been dealing with 30 megabit download and 10 megabit upload for about the last 6 or 7 years. Finally, in a couple of days, we're going to get fiber. Problem is, I opted for a 250 megabit plan. I could have got a gigabit plan, or I could have got a bit slower. The problem is, if I go up to the top of my desk up here, this is my NBN router. So that's VDSL basically. It was end of life about 3 years ago. And that little unit is only good for 100 megabit total. So I use gigabit network switches around my house, but that's mostly for internal network. If I want to use 250 megabit internet, it's going to be a bit of a problem. So I went poking around. Now I could have gone Ubiquity, which was recommended to me, and they look really good, but at nearly $400 wasn't good for me. I found this returned unit that did not meet requirements at Officeworks for, what was it, $280. I think I even got it a little bit cheaper. I am going to bet that somebody bought this thinking they could use it for an NBN router and realized that it doesn't actually have that functionality. If we look on the back here, we see it connects to the internet via a WAN port, so you need a separate modem. This is not a modem router, this is just a router. That terminology is often confused. So let's open this up and we'll go over why I went down this route. So we're just unpacking stuff and we're going over the first and primary reason why I went this route. This is a 12 volt power pack with a 5.5 2.1 millimeter DC plug on here, or DC jack. That's important. If we go to my modem here, this is a circuit board I designed myself some time ago, and this is a 12 volt UPS. So that means when the power drops, this will automatically switch over to house battery, which runs off solar. There's two big 135 amp hour deep cycle batteries in parallel up the other end of the house. They come in through here. So that means when the power drops, this can fail over to 12 volts. The NTD that I'm getting in here will be able to do the same thing. I'm going to set up a backup for that as well. So that means if there's an absolute power outage, things switch over to solar. And on top of that, most of the network switches around the place also run on the solar system as well. Most of the 12 volt needs of the house are run off that battery system. Okay, so yeah, we've got our 4 ports on the back here. We've got our WAN port, WPS to be disabled, power switch, and DC in, and a USB 3 port, which I think, from what I've heard, you can plug drives into, but I have my own file server. So let's see how this goes in terms of current usage. Now, before I do this, I checked this little symbol right in the middle here. It's very hard to see. I had to put the magnifying glass on, but that suggests that it is center positive. So I'm getting my illuminated magnifying glass here and have a bit of a look if the camera can see that. Let's clean the lens a little bit. Yep, that looks like it's a center positive. Okay, so we're going to feed this directly off DC, off the house battery. Now, while that's important, is because I can flip these little 2-prong banana plugs around the wrong way if I'm not careful. So we flip that way. We know our green marker is negative. We can plug straight in the back here, and we can flick an on switch. Now we can go down here and we can check our blue meter up here. So if we move our camera up, this blue meter represents current, and this is volts, as if that wasn't already obvious. So we can see there is a white light on. It's working quite fine, and we're not noticing any appreciable current difference. So I think that the 2 amp supply will be when it's under load. We'll find out about that in a minute. So it's just booting up. It's saying it's got 2.4 and 5 gigahertz signal. Nothing on the ports yet. Nothing on the WAN port. That's fine. We just want to log into it for now and configure the Ethernet stuff. Okay, so interestingly enough, it's actually co-opted any internet request I've made and reverted us to the portal, which is nice. That's fine. We know about that because we're not using secure HTTP just yet. Oh, we are now. Okay. must log into the network. So open the network login page then. This is where we need the quick start guide. Alright, we're in the admin page. I'm not going to show that in too much detail. I've got to go set up some stuff like your IP addresses, the passwords, the authentication version, or the encryption, whatever, the devices, the clients, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to figure all that out, get it all set up, and then we'll go over the NTD when it's installed, which should be in a couple of days. But by the magic of video, you'll see that pretty much right away. One thing I did do is take this red one, which is off one of the switches on my existing network, plugged it into the WAN port and told it to detect DHCP, and it's come up with a firmware upgrade. So that's handy. We can do that pretty much straight away. Alright, I've got it mounted, possibly not the best spot because my audio inlet goes in just beside that antenna. We might get some interference. We'll work that out later. For now, we're hopping across via the WAN port just to get things tested. We are running power lead all the way down here back to the test unit. Later on we will move this white lead over to that to power it off this unit. And of course my tripod failed. In any case, we will move this white wire over to power it off the UPS board, and we will move that around. We'll maybe move the speaker off here. We'll juggle stuff around until it works. Alright, so I just got the word from Aussie Broadband. I've got NBN Fiber installed tomorrow, and they're probably going to knock it all out in one day. My new modem's mounted with a note on here to connect the NTD to that. Turn on this switch here to turn on the new router. And I have my preferences marked down on the walls. That's my third preference. And mine the dirty floor. First preference there. Second preference in here. What I need to do is fix my UPS that normally lives there so that all this stuff is battery backed. Yeah, let's try that one more time. Okay. Nope. Our UPS is definitely buggered. And at some point I'm going to make a 9-volt battery back for that. This thing here that normally battery backs my modem off the solar is going to run that. I got that one because it's 12-volt capable. Things are going to work into place. But by the time they're done tomorrow, I'll probably still have NBN connected for a bit. So I'm going to leave that running as normal, run that as a separate access point. Once we've got that up and running, I will connect that switch back into that and then change my IP address, and we should be cooking with gas. But we've still got a little bit to do yet. Now the reason for the notes is I'm going to be in oncology getting an infusion for multiple sclerosis, an infusion of Tisabri. The oncology ward is also known as the chemo ward. But every time I say that, people think I'm getting treated for cancer. I'm not. In any case, yeah, we'll see what happens. Right, my landlord just dropped by to tell me he's jacking the rent up, but he did drop an extension lead off, which I need. There he is sneaking away now. Anyway, we're going to go and use this. That saves me buying one and the whole trip to Bunnings and all the rest. That'll be good. Okay, some cable arrived, thanks to Waze, who's also on my featured channels list. This is solid core Cat 6. It's the good stuff. And we have some solid core Cat 5 connectors, also yellows, so that I can differentiate them in a stack of other cables.
72 hours later.
Okay, and just like that, we have a termination box. But they weren't so interested in going through the roof where I had my cable threaded for them. That's okay, I will use that for something else. But you might notice there's nothing else connected to that box. That's because there wasn't a termination in the pit. So they're going to send the other NBN guys back to get a fiber termination in the pit. Then they're going to run it up the power pole, overhead along this wire here, run some conduit down here into this box. Then these guys will be back to do the connection. Let's have a look inside. Now, never mind my messy desk. I actually cleaned this up this morning. This was all clear. So anyway, we have an NTD down here, or at least the hardware for it. I'm going to have a close look at this. Now, take the cover off here. We can see it's a pretty run-of-the-mill hardware. There's a little NTD router here and a power supply. That power supply is 12 volts. What I want to have a look here is it a center positive one? I can't quite see. We will check it in a moment, but there's a reason why I'm interested in that. So it's not center positive, it's a different plug, but there's only 2 pins in there. That's fine. Now, why that's important, I have one of these. This is a custom circuit board that I made up to allow me to have 1 output and 2 DC inputs. So when the mains drops out, it can swap over to 12 volt DC. I already have one of these running my current modem, which is in bridge mode to the new Asus one, which is going to be my router. That means when mains voltage drops, it can drop over to the DC off the solar house battery, which comes in down here. So this means I can't use the plug that I was hoping to use. I'm going to have to modify that one. I might see if I can order a spare one in before I go cutting cables. Okay, so it's the next morning and I've got the power supply out. It's the next morning because I had to go and recover some people out of a bog hole. Probably see a clip here. I got him. In any case, these guys use a mini Molex connector of some kind for the power. Now they use an IEC lead on the other end, which is nice. 12 volts, 2 amps. I'm going to go see if I've got one of these in my collection. Otherwise I might turn this into an adapter, or I may pay the 20 bucks and get another supply in. These are not hard to find though. And there's only 2 pins connected. It's just these 2 pins up the end here. So, but yes, I do definitely want to connect that to this to provide some power backup. Alright, so I've come up with a few different hurdles for this NBN NTD. But now I'm starting with this unit. I'm testing the voltage drop because I did find a beefier one that are designed with a hulking grate diode on the back here. Now, voltage drop is not too much of a problem for the router side of things. That's easy to replace. The NTDs are a bit more picky. So if we have a look here, we've got 12.8 volts coming out. That's 13.6 going in on the solar. So let's swap these around. Now this capacitor here will run it for a while. This is designed to carry the load of whatever's plugged into it in the fraction of a second it takes for that relay to drop. Now everything goes through that diode to stop this backfeeding the coils of the relay. I'll explain how that works later. This one has a much bigger capacitor on it that's going to run for donkey's years. But let's see what the voltage drop is with that hulking grate diode in this one. We'll plonk that in. So we are 13.15 coming out with 13.7. So about a half volt drop on this one instead of nearly a 1 volt drop on this one. So this is probably the better one to use. Okay, so having discovered that replacement plugs like this are available, I took the brave step of chopping it. Now, this is some fairly decent cable. I understand why there's a length requirement and they want to keep the voltage stable. So this is a pretty quality pack. This shielding here does not appear to be connected to ground or anything. There's no continuity between these two. I will double check that in a moment. But red is positive, white is negative. This is not connected to that, I think, because there's no voltage between that and ground. We'll just do a continuity check on those two though. Let's just plug into our continuity terminals here. These should go beep beep when we touch them. Clip one onto that shield, one onto the negative. No, nothing across them. So that shielding is just shielding in the cable, I think. That's good news. The good news being, so we can chop that off. Now we're going to wire these to a DC barrel jack and a socket on the other end. There's a reason why I'm doing that. Okay, we have our setup finally. This is just a test patch lead I've got. This is, I made a glue-filled heat shrink packet here. I've checked the polarity. This works. Our plug pack's in here. This goes in the main input. This goes into the backup input. I've probably got the PCB files somewhere. I should dig them up and post them. Okay, so test run's working alright. This is okay. It's running off 12 volts at the moment off the solar system. Quite okay. Well, let's turn the mains on and watch it switch over. There you go, switch to main successfully. let's let it drop back. So it will have a little drop out when it goes back and reset. That's a pain in the ass. I'll have to think about how to do that. But overall, it has switched over. I'm going to have a standard mains UPS in line with this as well. So this is sort of a backup of a backup. Alright, so now we just sit and wait for however long it is for NBN to show up and put fibre into the pit. Apparently they hadn't done that, even though they said it was available. So it could be weeks, could be months, we don't know. Probably not this side of Christmas, I reckon. So we'll see probably after Christmas, I guess, will be when you guys will be seeing this. Probably when I've got fibre already. Well, I wish I had fibre right about now. First lightning strike, the NBN went out, and I've got no internet. I'm working on 4G off this thing, which is not doing real good right now. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be leaking in there somewhere too. Fun times. Alright, we had some parts show up from our local G-Car store. One is a project box that we can fit this in, and a couple of bezel LEDs to make it look fancy. We also have a spare NBN power supply. Just in case they ask questions, we have one we can plug in. Alright, we've got things mounted in a box now, fairly neatly. The lid sort of goes on, sort of. Now we have a 12 volt supply here. That's running on battery backup mode. This is running on mains mode, if you plug the plug in properly. So that should work. I've left the original LEDs in the box for diagnostics. These are on the outside, so yeah, it's nicely boxed up now. Alright, we have it connected up. We're going to tuck it away out of the corner for now, and we'll come back when we get fibre connected. Alright, and we're mounted in. That looks pretty good. Alright, I guess we've just got to wait another couple of weeks until the fibre actually gets connected. So we're going to leave this video here, and we'll do another one when we actually have fibre and the speed tests and everything around that.